right, ShortMeTina once again from ShortMeTina.com. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone enjoyed their 3-day weekend. The markets came back in full swing. And before we start off, definitely want to welcome everyone that's new to our channel, ShortMeTina. In short, to subscribe. I do videos every single day. We talk about, we analyze small caps, large caps, mid caps, just anything that's kind of moving in the market. And it's really good to listen to these videos because it gives you sort of like a kind of like lenses or a framework in which I view the market. All right, so we're going to kick it off with a recap of the SPY, the S&P 500. We're going to take up where we left off on Friday. And like I indicated in regards to the SPY, it went up too far, too fast, in my opinion, right? So we definitely penetrated that 260 pivot spot I've been talking about for quite some time. We penetrated there with this V-shaped rally that I'm not a particular fan of. Went as high on Friday, we went as high as 266 here, basically touching 267, and I definitely anticipated a pullback coming into Tuesday. We shed something like 1.5% at the heights with decent volume to close at 262.86. So for me, again, going into the remainder of the week, the month, and the beginnings of next month, ideally for me, for things to look rosier, or for me to be convinced that we have seen the bottom, I would like for this to pull back to that 260 base and consolidate. So that's what I'm paying attention to. Pull back to 260 and consolidating. What else do we have? Again, we have something similar going on with the IWM. By the way, this is a daily chart. We have this V-shaped rally that I do not think is very sustainable. We penetrated that pivot spot for IWM. Well, for the SPY, it was 260. For IWM, in my opinion, it was 145. We penetrated that. We went as high as 147.92 on Friday. Again, I was anticipating a pullback. We pulled back to 145. We're down about 1.6% on the day. So we've pulled back essentially to that pivot spot of 145. So for me, again, similar to the similar to the SPY, I would like for the IWM to base here. I don't mind if we spend several days or weeks consolidating. If we do that, I think it actually bodes well for the bulls before we continue trending up. What else do we have? Pay attention to 145. All right, let's follow up with CRON. So again, full disclaimer, full disclosure, in regards to the SPY, we've been short the SPY for quite some time. Again, when we noticed the initial sell-off back in October, while I was optimistic about the overall bullishness of the market, we used that as a hedge. Again, I think there is a sort of passive way that you can construct your trading portfolio. I do not think it's a bad strategy to allocate a percentage to buying the market as a whole. Because of that, we are also buying the IWM in increments. And so for CRON, another disclaimer is we were actually long, or we went long CRON in the premium member community dating back to August of 2018. And this is to show sometimes, again, as I've preached before, it takes time, or it can take time, to make money in the market, right? At any rate, we went long back in August around 5, quickly saw it shot up to around 15, pulled back to 6, still told folks, in my opinion, it was a good buy. What formed here, in my opinion, is an inverted head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And normally when you see this particular pattern, it's usually there usually is an explosive move to the upside. So resistance, or that neckline, comes in at around $14. And for the past 2 days, we had that explosive move, right? So with a high of around $16, that's about a 14% move from that break of around $14, that upside break. So, we went as high again as 16, pulled back to 1507. Don't like the candle, don't like the volume. I'm expecting more downside for ticker CRON. Again, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. If stocks go up pretty quickly, expect pullbacks. A pullback in a base around 14, again, would be a decent area, in my opinion, for the stock to continue its upward trajectory. What else do we have? All right, ticker AMD. So again, rallies have not been sustained. We did short AMD in the premium member community. So it's actually having a hard time, two things. It's actually having a hard time breaching that resistance level of around, let's say, 22, 23. and it's also not really retracing back to that $15 or $14 level that I've been calling for. So, you know, if you're short, long, definitely be careful. It's basing for, in my opinion, an explosive move to either the upside or the downside. I have my takes on which side I think it wants to play next, but I would like to watch it unfold. So put AMD on your ticker. There's going to be monies to be made on either side. It's looking like it's setting up for an explosive move. What else do we have? All right, ticker CGIX. Impressive today, right? Up about 26% on the day. So I don't particularly like penny stocks. Everyone knows that. Decent volume today. Again, it's up about 26 cents. For me, I am all about playing the risk-reward game. I do not like playing the middle. I like buying at support. And for me, support for CGIX comes at around 18 to 20 cents. So I wouldn't be chasing or buying here to put the odds in my favor. I would actually wait for it to hit support. What else do we have? All right, SGYP seems to be knocking on heaven's door like Bob Dylan, right? Sitting here at about, we can say 30 cents. We're up about 7.5% on the day. I said not to call me until the stock was trading at around, I believe I said 35 cents. So we're actually getting to that level. If we can, again, get above resistance and hold, right? And the resistance is around 35 cents in my opinion. If we can get above resistance and hold, that bodes well. What's alarming right now, it's not on really confirming volume. We want to see volume like here and like here, not this. To me, there's not a lot of participants here, but there's a lot here and there's a lot here. So if we can actually rally, penetrate resistance on similar volume like this is good to go. Until then, I would stay away. What else do we have? All right, WFT down about 10% on the day. If we cannot penetrate resistance, shorter term resistance of around 60 cents, and it seems as though we had a hard time, or we've been having a hard time doing that. We've made attempts dating back to late December of 2018 to get above that 60 cents resistance threshold. Have not been able to do it. If we can't do it, expect the stock to revisit support of around 19 cents. Considering the overall trend, I do not like WFT. I am not a buyer of WFT. What else do we have? Ticker ACB. Learn to play the chart. Learn to play the chart. Longer term, I am a bull on ACB. In the shorter term, stocks can do absolutely just about anything it wants. Even with that said, I think there's a bullish sort of, despite the last 3-day pullback on volume, you know, we're still trading above support of around, let's say, high fours, low fives. So we're still trading above support, right? Sitting here at 619, I wouldn't necessarily jump in, but it looks like it's setting up, in my opinion, for an explosive move. Just gotta wait for confirmation. I have to see how things play out for the, I would say maybe the remaining of the week, going into next week, definitely the ending of the month, and then I'd be a little bit more confirmed in my conviction to see whether or not we can actually make it here to around $8. I think we can, but let's see. What else do we have? All right, ticker SES. Did a lot today, right? Went as high as $1.70. But the fact that we closed under $1 is alarming. Still up about 12% on the day. I know folks are pretty excited. For me personally, my years of trading, not always right, but with ticker SEC, I'm expecting downside. I would not jump in here. I do not like the close. I mean, from, you know, going from a high of $1.70 to closing under $1, it seems as though a lot of people were unloading. Just look at the candle. Looks like a lot of folks were unloading today. I expect that to continue into tomorrow. So that's kind of it. We're going to cap it there, right? Let's wrap it up. ShortMeTina once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, do two things for me. One, head on over to my YouTube page at ShortMeTina, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. I do videos every single day. This ensures that you do not miss any. Then head on over to ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member, right? Become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the support.